You know what time it is? What is up, everyone? How's everyone doing tonight? I haven't been on here for a second. I had said that I was going to try to stream every week, and it's been a month. So once we did the Tammy stream, I took a break. There's some things going on. We're going to talk about some things going on tonight because there are some big opportunities for everyone around the world to be able to participate in something really, really cool. And we're going to talk about that. But we have guests tonight. I just see one of them just joined the back as well. We got a returning guest as well. But I want to say hi to a couple people real quick. We got Power Rangers Dino Fury. Not sure what that says. Nick Tillett, what's going on? Jeremiah, let's go. It's morphin' time. What's going on, man? Are you getting some sleep? Because I know you just got the baby. That baby's got to be like a month old now. Are you getting sleep? Because I got no sleep that first month. It was torture. So we got Josh, man, saying it's morphin' time. We got Maddie in the house. We got our Legacy of Nerd West Coast correspondent, Milady Cat. She is here. Make sure to say hi to her. Saying hello, friends. We got Tanya from Australia. How are you doing? We got it before my lunch break ends. Okay, say hi. I totally understand. I know you got a lot to do. We got Dino Man, Ranger Restoration Repair. What's going on, man? How are you doing? We got Austin McNeil. We got Arrow 26 Studios. Time for Time Force. Wait, something Time Force going on? What's going on? Shift into Turbo. We got Wanda saying hi to everyone. How you doing? We got Roadhog. Hello, everyone. What's going on, man? I haven't seen you in a bit. We got Willie GZ. We got Marv, and we got Tripping Over Toys. What's going on, man? So we got a full agenda today. So I know the title says Power Ranger updates House Dragon, Acolyte, and Superman. We're going to talk about some of those things tonight, but I have two really special guests, and I realized one of them I never talked about her origin story, so we're going to talk about her origin story today. It's going to be how does she get bit by the radioactive spider and so on. But we got a new friend here. I actually met her at NostalgiaCon San Antonio. I think we had kind of briefly talked, but I'll let you guys meet her. So first, returning to the Legacy of Nerd, everyone's favorite BFF over here. Everyone say hi to Allie B. Hi, Allie.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing good. And we got our new friend. Everybody, please welcome Porcelain Doll.
Hello.
I don't know if this three works. You guys are sitting back. It looks better for you. Do I need to sit back here? I don't know. We'll see. We'll play with it. We'll see what happens. So, how are you guys doing tonight?
Good. Excited.
So Allie and Porcelain Doll were major players at NostalgiaCon San Antonio. They were cosplay guests. Porcelain San Antonio was the first time I met you, or NostalgiaCon was the first time I met you. And I realized, when I was trying to make this panel for the stuff, and I was gonna bring on. There was another cosplayer I was looking to bring on, Patrick Sky. A lot of you guys know Patrick Sky in the chat, but I realized I don't know. I had spoken to Allie a lot, and I don't know her origin story, so it kind of makes perfect. So I want to talk about you guys, how you guys got into cosplay. I'm going to start with Porcelain Doll. Porcelain Doll, how did you get into cosplay? What is your origin story?
So really quick and brief. I've been saying my mom, my grandma used to sew all my costumes when I was little for Halloween. And so my whole family was big into Halloween and dressing up. And then I started finding out about cosplaying, as I got older, and I was like, yeah, I could do this all the time. Dress up and be in cosplay. So my first convention was in Corpus Christi. It was called RealmsCon. I believe that was back in 2011, 2012-ish area. So ever since then, I got completely hooked with doing cosplay and getting to be creative and meeting new friends and just joining the cosplay community.
Awesome. And Allie, what about you? Did it start with Yu-Gi-Oh? Is it Yu-Gi-Oh?
No, it didn't start with Yu-Gi-Oh. It just started off with just the love of anime, honestly watching anime as I grew up. And of course, knowing that there was conventions where people dressed up as the characters, it just mind blew me. And I was like, I have to try it. I have to do this. So my first time trying it was going to San Japan in 2012. And I fell in love with it. And that was my intro to I want to do this for as long as possible. So that's kind of what started it out.
I never even realized San Japan's been around that long. Like,
Yeah.
and maybe because I'm a new person to the con scene, fairly new. You know what I mean? So like I met you guys, this last year, but I really didn't start going to the con scene until like beginning of 2023. And like I've been to like a con here and there. I think I went to the first Alamo City Comic Con here in San Antonio. And then like I didn't go to another one for probably until 2023. So like I saw like the culture, like, well, first of all, there wasn't like a culture when I first went. Like there was just people going, right? And some people like dressed up, but there wasn't really like how do I say, like
Well, the
a
word
creative
even
art around it. You know what I mean? Like it was just kind
yeah.
of people buying stuff off of, at the time Amazon wasn't really a big thing, but like Walmart and kind of stuff like that.
Mhm.
What do you think? Okay, I'll start with Ali again. What do you think kind of like influences your cosplay, and what are some of the more creative ones that you like to do personally?
So, just to refer a little bit back on the convention stuff that you were talking about, real quick. One of the things that I am still mind blown is that when I went to San Japan in 2012, the word even cosplay wasn't even designed yet. It's like it was not
Wow.
even known in the US at that time. So nobody knew what cosplay was. They just thought people were dressing up in costumes. So when the word cosplay started getting creative, and I think it was until like 2014 that it started hitting mainstream and started becoming an actual like society thing. And that's when I was like, oh, this is cosplay. This is what it is. So then that's how I was just became passionate about, because I started off with some of my favorite characters. I'm very passionate with video games at that time, and Final Fantasy was definitely one of my most popular ones. So,
Yeah.
of course, dressing up as Tifa and Yuna from Final Fantasy, it just from there it drew me, and then it just went on. At that time, League of Legends was a very popular game at the time, and Ari was one of my first costumes that I also ever created, and I'm actually excited because I'm bringing her back. So I'm super excited to bring her back really, really soon. So
That's awesome. And personally, what about you? Because I mean, I don't know how long. Honestly, I feel like I'm probably like ancient compared to you guys, but like, um,
No.
but 2012, like I think I was like already applying for my senior citizenship card. But what when did you kind of start? Like, because you had talked about like you had done the con scene in Corpus, but when was that? And like what has grown since then for cosplay? At least the community and for you as well.
Yeah. So when I went to Realms Con back in the day, I really didn't know, because I didn't have any friends or anybody that was into cosplay or going to cons. So I just went by myself. And I just did like a little cute kawaii, like schoolgirl outfit, I guess you can say. And then from there on, I saw like people actually dressing up like in really cool characters and whatnot, which I did expect that, but it was my first time, so I didn't know what was going on. And then I actually moved to San Antonio. I went to college here, and then I started going to San Japan. Yeah, and then I found out what San Japan was, and so I was going to those events or those conventions, and then going to school. It was kind of hard to go to school and also do cosplay at the same time for college. So then I graduated with my degree, and so I got to get more into the community and actually go to a lot of different cons and start, creating my own cosplays and everything. I started with horror. That was actually my very first like main cosplay, because I love horror movies and doing all the makeup and everything. And then of course, then I went into video games. That's my second favorite is video game characters, movies and such like that. So yeah, I just and now I just do it all the time. It's just like my full-time job now. So that's what I do all the time. I'm always trying to create new characters, and what I think, kind of mashing up together. I try to find characters that deal with a lot of makeup, because I like to do all the makeup and everything. But yeah, I don't get my cosplays made. I actually have one of my friends, she's a seamstress. So I draw out the design and I pick out my fabric, and then I hand it to her. So I'm helping her in her business as well as she's helping me. So it's really great. And I am learning how to do Eva foam now, which is pretty interesting.
How to do what? What was it? What'd you say? What was the word you said?
That to make like the shields and the helmets and the armor and all that stuff, or like little
Oh,
accessories here and
okay.
there.
See, like that doesn't even
Yeah.
register. Like, what did you? What was Eva foam? Is that what you called it?
EVA foam.
EVA foam. Okay, is it
EVA
like
foam.
is
It's
it
an
like a
EVA. I
special
say
kind of
Eva.
foam? Or
Yes.
I thought you said
Yes.
Eva. I was like, whoa.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah,
special foam.
it's EVA.
Okay, so I don't mean to be like disrespectful, but YouTube has community standards, so we have to be careful with porcelain dolls a little bit here.
Be careful with my page.
So if I go by something,
You have to-
if I go by something real quick, it's not out of disrespect. It's I don't want to get in trouble.
No, you're good.
So I saw your
Totally
4th of July one.
understandable.
I thought that was really cool. I liked this one with the shield. I thought that look was really cool.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Skip.
Yeah.
Okay, so
I made the shield in the helmet. The helmet
Really?
was pretty. Yeah, I had to make that and paint that, and oh my gosh, it was pretty hard, but I did it.
See, that would drive me
Looks
insane
amazing.
with the
Thank
clear
you.
lines and all that. Oh my god, that's
Yeah,
so cool.
and then for the makeup for her, I had to look at different photos from the 1940s, how they did their eyebrows. My eyebrows a little bit more higher because back then in the day they had more higher arch, more of like a simple,
And they're
pretty
thin
makeup.
too.
Yeah. So it's a lot of little details to make the look of pinup. It's been a while since I've done pinup makeup, but that was a fun shoot. One photo photography did that shoot for me.
Yes.
Which one?
Yeah.
Which one did the one photo do? This one?
No. The pinup, the Captain America.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah,
Wow, that looks.
He was my photographer.
That's really cool. So
Yeah.
and I'm okay. So like I'm a real anime noob. So like bear with me. Like I've seen Dragon Ball Z, and then I've seen like 10 episodes of Naruto. So that's where I'm at. Like I'm like yeah. So if I don't recognize your characters, I apologize, or any of your characters. Although I did watch Yu-Gi-Oh, so when I see Allie's, this one is really cool. I think I saw you at somewhere with this, but I didn't know who you were back then.
Yeah.
How much is this painted right here?
A lot. It's actually it's a bodysuit. But I went back with 3D paint and I literally had to like dot every little dot to make the costume more 3D effect looking.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and I actually did that makeup live on Instagram the day of the convention.
Oh wow.
Looked like she's like morphing into it. Yeah, so yeah, even just like the face just to do, I think it was like 3 hours.
Oh my gosh.
Long.
Y'all are
Yeah.
dedicated. That's a
Yeah.
lot. Oh, you're on the news?
Oh my god, don't watch that video. Oh my god.
No, we're watching the video now. We're watching the video now. You can't say that.
No, that was so bad. He didn't tell me he was gonna film me live. All he said was,
Why'd you walk off?
Because this is the story. He was like, hey, can I take a video of you in front of the Venom? And I'm like, yeah, take the video. Awesome. So I'm in the front, right? And I'm like waiting for him to say go. And I see like this huge camera, like ginormous. I was like, damn, this is professional. It's like on freaking, not still what it's called, like the tripods. And he has these big ass headphones. And he's like, we're going live in 10. You ready? And I was like, what are you talking about? Live where? And he's like, the news. And then he just pointed like we're live. So I didn't know what was going on.
I've had those moments. I had the moment when the Spanish news, because they asked me if I spoke Spanish, and I was like, yeah, I speak Spanish. And they're like, oh, okay. Well, I haven't practiced my Spanish in a while, so of course it was all like choppy Spanish, and I'm like, oh god. This was also a Corpus Christi Comic Con. It was the Spanish news, and I'm like, oh my god, this is embarrassing.
Oh my god.
I was also dressed as Selena. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
That is awesome though. You guys see this, you guys are superstars here. We got Allie B's. Okay. I guess we gotta be careful with Allie too.
Yeah, it's getting there. It's getting there.
Okay. We'll start with this one and then we might have to do
That's so pretty. I love that one.
So this is really cool. So this is the one she did at NostalgiaCon too, right?
Yeah.
You did this one? Yeah.
Yes.
This one looks really, really cool.
I couldn't believe how popular that got. I didn't even think she was such a popular character, or people wanted her to be a cosplay. So it was actually a very heartwarming costume now. So
That's awesome. And then
Yeah, it's so
we got
pretty.
we got sexy Rogue here.
Hell
yeah.
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 I love it.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. You got the contact. Wait, is that contacts or is that added in?
Yeah, those are actually contacts. Yeah.
Well, I know your husband wears the contacts too, so I was like, whoa, dang. That's
Yeah,
cool.
he
Now
can't
this
wear them
one,
anymore, but
That
yeah.
is so good.
Yeah.
this one
Thank
is
you.
like this is how I know you because I think this
I'm
is the
like
first
trying
one
to
on
zoom
contact.
in. My phone's on. But I remember seeing it. I seen it before. It's so good.
Yeah.
That's good.
Soon
What?
I
Okay,
will complete it. I hopefully soon because it's still
this
not
isn't
complete.
completed. Really?
No, this was just I still have I want to actually do the whole movie version, which is with the bodysuit and everything.
Oh yeah, yeah.
This was a different version of it, so technically it's not a complete version of it, but it was kind of a different artist aspect of it. So yeah, and also the wings are photoshopped; they're not actually made. So
Oh.
yeah, that's the other thing that I want to complete.
Oh,
Is
okay.
the
I can
wings.
see it now. See, I didn't see that at all. That's cool though. How much will Daniel blush tonight? I don't know. I have to be careful. My wife is watching. I lied. She doesn't watch me. She doesn't watch me. She thinks like I'm a nerd. And she's like, yeah. So okay. Well, all right. So we got
Gotta skip that one.
this is Pokemon? Or
That's
so
Edgy Fest.
okay, so not I was meant like the character. It kind of looked like the one of the EVs or something. So I was saying that or when I saw you guys at Nostalgia, I know it was Ali, you had the mannequin, and I had never seen a mannequin that adjusts before. Like I had never seen that before. You're a seamstress, right? Like you make everything or most of it?
At least about 85%. I've kind of dwelled down to more like I kind of alter stuff now, just because of cost efficiency. Honestly, materials have been so expensive now to really just start from the bottom up. So if I can alter stuff, which is a lot more affordable, and then I'll do that aspect first before I actually
I just saw
start
Porcelain Doll's
build from head to
comment
toe.
here. So
My comment to you.
Yeah, so
It matches what I'm wearing. Look, I'm actually wearing fire.
yeah. It does. You look like actually the meme right now. You just gotta go. Yeah.
I feel like a hot Cheeto right now. That's what I feel like.
did y'all have fun at
Yeah, I
Superhero?
can see that.
Because I saw so you had like a lot of content from Superhero.
Yes, yeah, we did some great content at Superhero Comic Con. It was fun.
That's awesome. The Deadpools. I think I saw one where y'all were all walking together, like the Spider Girls and then Spider Women's and then Deadpool.
Yeah, we had a whole marbled like aspect. So we had all the versions of Spider Gwen. We had Venom. We had
cool.
Black Cat, Mary Jane. Everybody
There it is.
like yeah, there it is. So
That is cool.
yeah.
And you were you were Enchantress, right? Is that what I saw?
Yeah,
That's cool.
I was Enchantress from DC.
Are you familiar with DC or are you just familiar with the character?
Oh, I only do characters that I know.
Oh, okay,
So
okay,
I
cool.
love Enchantress.
Yeah,
I actually
same.
made the bra. So I had like a black bikini top, and I got like fabric paint, and I did like the little painting of the top.
That's
My
cool.
skirt, yeah, my skirt my grandma made me a long time ago. So I put that. I put black swim trunks underneath and just painted my whole body, and it all comes together.
You got Pikachu right here.
Pikachu.
My Black Cat Venom, I feel you, Porcelain, on how you with your Mystique, putting all those like little glue dots and everything on your
Yeah.
outfit. Same thing. That was my Venom. I mean, doing all the Venom into the like outfit, it was tedious. So
I'm trying to find your
It
Venom.
is. Yes.
I
But
need-
when you put it
I'm
on, you're
waiting-
still so awesome.
So I actually took quite a bit of pictures of my Black Cat Venom. I haven't got really good photos of it, but at Superhero Comic Con, I did run into a photographer, and he did take some great ones. But I'm still waiting to get them back. So hopefully soon.
Okay,
But I'll
cool.
be getting more soon back. Yeah, yeah.
Well, this. I'll just say, like, you know, the artistry that goes into this is insane because, and you know, and I know, like, a lot of you guys know that we have the Legacy and Nerd Cosplay team, but I don't run that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's all Oliver Queen, Green Arrow San Antonio. That he runs all of that. we had talked about doing it, and I was like, dude, because I know Ali, me and you talked about it. I was like, I don't know this world, and I don't want to like disrespect this world. So if we're gonna do this, you're gonna run it, and I'm going to support you doing it, basically. You know what I mean? So I we'll see if I'll ever cosplay. I think I did a little thing on Retro Mania, like I wore a jacket and the helmet, and that was about it. But I got to get rid of a chin or two before I think I would be comfortable cosplaying for myself, because it takes a lot of confidence, and I think it's a different confidence that like I don't have. Like I'm okay like being in front of like a crowd of people, 500 people, and talking, right, or being on here, but like when you like put me in spandex, I was like, that's another world. So I don't know.
Yeah.
So
I know that spandex is so different for a woman dressing in one, and then in men it's different for them, and I know that like that security feel it, so it's definitely different.
It's that, and then like we can get arrested for it. Like that's the difference. So yeah. I've seen some of the Power Ranger cons where like a lot of the Rangers go, and I think me and Tyler talked about this before too. And it's like somebody's using more cups or something, or just like underwear.
Dancer's belt. My husband actually just ordered one for his Gambit because he was like, I need to get one just in case.
Yeah.
So
can't go into a park wearing that at all. So say hi to a couple people. We got General Kenobi's Bunker, who's in the house, a friend of the channel, obviously. And Arrows 26 Studios says Porcelain Doll, John Steven, and I always have a good time hanging out. Is anyone here going to Power Morphicon in August in California this year? I'm not going. I'm doing More Phenomenal here in San Antonio, so that's where I'll be. I know you guys are going to Itchy Expo. Is that what it's called? Itchy Con?
Yes.
What's it called?
Etchy Fiesta. Sorry, Etchy Fiesta.
Etchy Fiesta.
Okay. And you're both going to that one?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Cosplay is so much work, but it's totally worth it. Awesome.
It is. It is so fun. And it's like you were talking about being comfortable in your cosplay. I feel like if you've never done it before, the first time is going to be a little bit nerve-wracking. But once you go out there and you talk to people and you get to meet people and mingling with them, and it just makes it so much more comfortable. And each time you do it, it's just like, yeah, I'm ready. Let's go.
Yeah. It really is. It's so fun.
Yeah.
And it does build also your confidence. And I feel like also like especially if I was such a shy nerd, because I watched anime and all that stuff, and I couldn't find a group to really connect with. And like by doing cosplay and by going to these conventions is how I got my friendship and all the community to open up. So that's how I kind of opened up myself. So
yeah. Or you can just do like me and take a fireball shot before.
There you go.
Just be in your car, just pre-gaming. Oh my god, I'm wearing spandex.
Pre-game.
I have 2 of these shots now.
Liquid confidence, right?
Yep.
Dancer belts and compression shorts. That would probably be. I mean, that's probably the answer.
Yep.
He's in very good shape. So he's in Ranger shape. So you Andrew are.
You want to know a secret? If y'all don't have a dancer's belt or compression pants, something that my husband had to do because we didn't have that. So recently for Gambit, he forgot his compression shorts. So we were like, okay, well, we grabbed a bunch of napkins and we just shoved them in there. And that's what worked. So whatever you got to. Yeah. Whatever.
Sounds sweaty.
It was very sweaty. Very sweaty.
Like, it sounds sweaty is what it sounds like. Yeah, we had, I don't know if you guys in the chat remember, but we had Tyler on who went like super in depth and all the topics that we talked about. Gambit, he is Mr. Ali B, or the B. So I know a lot of the people remember him as well, because that was a long. We talked for like a good 2 hours on cam.
Oh yeah, he will talk your ears off.
what his tagline should be like, I like to talk. Like that's what he. That's what he does. Yeah. So we're gonna talk a little bit of news today. I know there's some things you guys don't know too much about, but a lot of it's kind of like reacting to pictures and stuff like that. And we'll change that up real quick. Let me get it up here.
Are we playing games?
I don't know. I don't know like stream games. Is there a game that you can recommend? See, this is Milady Cat. Milady Cat needs to come on here and like if she knows games, she can do. She like hosts like virtual cons and stuff like that.
But
And this
I
is like
gotta zoom in into this.
that's more thing.
Oh,
So
there it is.
So a lot of you guys in the chat, we are like a month behind on news. So one thing that came up and that was up for pre-order and already sold out is this Dragon Dagger from My Hero Studios. It is an all-metal die-cast Dragon Dagger. It was $580 and it sold out in less than 24 hours. I think they were only making like 200 of them. Now, My Hero Studios, for you guys don't know in the chat, they are a third party retailer, not retail, I guess a third party company, but they didn't actually have the license to Power Rangers. So they make these customs by hand, each individually. And then it takes about 2 years. It makes about 2 years to get out. They recently, I don't have the picture up, but they recently just unveiled the Saba that they did that I think was like $800. And that one was only like 120 pieces that they made. And that one's getting ready to ship here too. And that one sold out in 48 hours. So these are high quality, probably as real as you're going to get to like an actual weapon. Without it being a weapon. Now, the cool thing about these ones are they light up. So there's some LED on that in the base. And I don't know if you guys can see it there but the Dragon Zord is like sculpted into the base. The Green Ranger is sculpted in and Tommy is sculpted in. At the bottom, you can see the command center. So these are highly detailed, highly skilled people that are making these. And these are art pieces and centerpieces. So I did post this. A lot of people asked for the pre-order like 2 days after, and it sold out. I think it sold out. It launched like at 10 a.m. and it sold out probably by like 2 or 3 a.m. in the morning the next morning. So it didn't last very long. I think people got home from work, saw that it was available, and bought it. So if you're one of those wants to get it, you guys are awesome. If you're gonna try to get it on the secondhand market, you're probably looking at anywhere from like $1,000 to $1,500.
I'm actually really surprised that you said how much was it? $550?
This Dragon Dagger was $580.
That's actually pretty low. I thought it would be higher. I don't know why. I'm a collector, so like, but when I see statues like that, I'm like, that is such a very unique piece. And with the LED lights, like I would think it would be running anywhere from at least like $860 to plus more. But,
honestly, I saw this and I thought it was gonna be more comparable to the Saba price. Because there's more sculpting in the base. The Saba one, has a nice base, it has a morpher, but it doesn't have like this beautiful art here on the bottom. So it's really it's a one of a kind piece. The thing is, it's not licensed, so a lot of people pass on these things because it's not official. It's not official Power Rangers or Super Sentai products, right? But nonetheless, they're really, really good. My only guess, the reason it might have been a little bit low because it might be hollow. It might be hollow, is what I'm thinking.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it's as real as it's gonna be. I mean, it doesn't call it the Dragon Zord, if that's for sure. But
and then you can click a button, and then the LED lights show.
The LED lights show. So the only difference between this one and the Lightning Collection, this one's beautiful. The Lightning Collection is very standard, but the Lightning Collection, you can actually like you can't blow into it like a flute, but you can play the notes, individual notes.
The notes.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
So it's pretty nice. This one, I think this one, the blade lights up. So the cool thing interesting about My Hero Studios is they had initially done a Saba like render and they put that out like this is what it's going to be, and they did a prototype, and then they got better software and they're like, we're going to redo it all, and it had way more detail than what you originally bought. So this is the original render, original prototype. It may be actually better by the time you get it because he made the person that makes it made a lot of improvements to the Saba before it was ready to release. So there might be improvements on this as well. And he didn't take any more time to do it, which was the good thing. So good reputation with these guys. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was just like, I can just imagine me having that at my house, and then like someone's breaking into my house and I grab it and I turn on the light. Can you imagine the bird was like, what the hell is that? That's the Pirates?
So we have the Captain American shield and we have like the Witcher swords on the wall. So like they're like by us.
Really?
So we're ready.
I went. Honestly, like I went to a Renaissance fair when I was like 13, right? And I don't know if you guys remember Home Shopping Network, but
Yeah.
I used to collect like stainless steel swords, right? Like my parents, they were like real cheap, and my parents were like, yeah, whatever, like they're like a spoon, right? So it's not a big deal, right? And so I would get these cool little swords. So one year I went to the Renaissance fair when I was like 12 or 13 years old, and they were selling swords, and it was like I don't remember how much it cost because when you're a kid you don't think about money like that. But I was like, can I have this sword? And they looked at it and they're like, yeah, go ahead. Like it came with a sheath. It was really cool. And then so I got home and I started looking at this sword and I was like, this isn't a spoon. Like I remember pulling it all out. Like this is a real sword. Like this, and it was so much so that at the tip it looks like whoever like bought it in the shop like welded it over so it wasn't tipped because it was originally tipped. Like it could be stabby.
Yeah.
And I remember thinking, I remember showing my parents, like, I think this is real. And they're looking at this and they're like, we just bought a 12-year-old a real sword. And so, yeah, I think for a little while it lived by the front door for a little while. And then I don't know where it is. I think funny enough, I think I gave it to Deb, I almost said her name, my wife's niece. I think I gave it to her. And I was like, I think this here's the real one.
So
and
you gave a real sword to another 12-year-old?
Yes, she was. She was like 13 at the time. Yes, I totally did.
I passed you down this sword.
She was like, "That's cool," and I was like, "I don't need a sword." Like, you know what I mean? Like, take the sword. So yeah,
that's a badass gift. I wish I was given a real sword at 13.
Yeah, it was a thing. I remember like using it a couple times to like open boxes and stuff like that, like legit. How can they cosplay and it's art, but when I do, I'm told to leave Home Depot because I'm drunk. See, we get arrested. You guys, people are like, hi, like go up to meet you. Oh, your cosplay is so wonderful. Mine is turn around, put your hands behind your back. So that's the difference for them. So I have a metal Saba, Sword of Darkness. That's cool, and a power sword. I didn't even pay half for that price. Oh, so yeah, a lot of the Lightning Collection stuff is except for the metal Saba and Sword of Darkness. I wonder if he got them 3D printed. I was like to say.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I was like, maybe it was 3D printed.
Yeah. Patrick Sky's in the house. We got the most famous Power Ranger cosplayer here. Everyone, make sure you say hi to Patrick. Patrick was the guy I was trying to get on today, but he was just like, "No, I'm too busy. Like I have photo shoots. He was like, I have photo shoots. I have a magazine interview. He was like, I have to go do the weather." Nah, he weekdays are hard for him. He works a lot and stuff like that. So we got Maddie in the house. I think he was here on another one, but another account, but Mid Tennessee Geek, a friend of the channel as well. Everyone's saying hi to Patrick. So the next thing in the news we're gonna get to is Ark Survival Ascended. So this is not a video game that I played.
Wow.
I know some of you guys in the chat have played it. So I guess it's like a Fortnite dinosaur sort of thing experience.
It's a very complicated game. That's
what people are telling me.
I tried it. So many people were wanting me to play Ark, and I tried it.
What is it? What is it?
It's pretty. It is like Minecraft / with dinosaurs and of course Fortnite mixed together, because you got to build your little campsite, and then you have to survive and kill the monsters, and those dinosaurs are difficult. I did not have fun. Honestly.
So one of the things that we've been hearing, because a lot of people I guess started or checked out the game once the Power Ranger DLC came back, so you could buy the Power Rangers, and you could I guess you're a caveman, but you can like morph into any of the Rangers, any of the 5 Rangers, the original 5, and then you can get access to their dinosaurs as well. So a lot of people were talking about the gameplay, and they were not necessarily complaining about the gameplay. They were saying that like it was failing a lot on them. So like it was glitching a lot, whether it was on PC or even Xbox. They're saying it's really glitchy.
Very.
As far as the actual like representations of the Rangers itself and the dinosaurs, they look really, really good. One interesting thing that I talked about in prior video, but they use the Lightning Collection models for the power weapons. So like the power sword, the power daggers, the Yellow Ranger power daggers, and the power lance, the Blue Ranger one, those are all based off of the Lightning Collection ones. So the two that we all know we didn't get was the Power Axe, the Black Ranger, and the Pink Ranger's power bow. And so if you want to see what the Lightning Collection plans were for it, you're only going to find it in this game because these appear to be the Lightning Collection models that they were using, which is sad because they canceled the Lightning Collection and we're not going to get to finish our weapons. A lot of us like they're kind of expensive too, so a lot of us like invested into them assuming you're going to have them all. And not only that, if I know you guys don't know, but I know the power weapons that we did get, you can see the notches and connections that were there for when it was going to become the power blaster, like when they all come together. So it's kind of like but will we get them in the future? I don't know. I obviously they built the models for them. If you want to see what they look like, I have more images on my Facebook and Instagram. You're gonna have to scroll because I've been posting a lot. So I think this came out like 3 weeks ago. So scroll through, you'll see the renders of it. The idea is cool. People seem to say like the idea is pretty cool. You can't really do much. You can't turn into the Megazord. They all seem to be kind of like in proportion. As we know, the Yellow Ranger is one of the foot, and look how small that saber-tooth tiger is. You can barely see it. Maybe fit on one of the Tyrannosaurus's toes, and that's about it. So
I'm wondering if, because obviously that's probably like a skin, right? Like you probably gain that. Yeah. So I'm guessing because from what I remember in the game, and one of the most annoying thing that I did not like is that if you die, you lose everything you have, and you have to start from the scrap. So I'm wondering if you get
we're back to Sega Genesis days, really, like Sega.
Yeah. So that's the only thing. I'm like, that's a pretty cool skin to have, and I'm sure they have the weapons and all that on there too.
Yeah, they do.
If you die, that's it. You lose everything again. You have to
that would annoy the crap out of me, having to go back and get it. And
Yeah.
honestly, if I wouldn't pay $45 for the game just to play this skin, but this kind of reminds me of Grand Theft Auto when you would just drive around the city and run over people and pick up hookers and stuff like that. That's pretty much what I would do with these. That's what I pretty much do with these dinosaurs. I would just ride around on them just to say I did it for a couple
20 you're in the dinosaur picking up hookers.
Basically.
Yeah. How much? You want to ride on the high T-Rex?
I mean, it's a cool idea.
It's a cool idea.
I don't know. I still wouldn't want me to play Ark, honestly. No.
Well, the thing is here, the issue with Power Rangers right now is a lot of what Hasbro is doing is that they decided they don't want to make it anymore. So they're just licensing it out to anybody that wants it. So they were like, we'll take it. And so, yeah, that's just what it is. So we did hear some rumors that when we didn't hear rumors, people found coding in Fortnite for Power Rangers.
They found cocaine?
Coding. Calm down. Oh. We're on YouTube, man. We're on YouTube. Hold on. I'm going to go turn.
You're glitching.
You're smoking. You're talking about cocaine. I need to go turn off monetization right now.
This is
Hold on.
I'm
gonna go. I am going to turn off monetization. You're gonna get me kicked off, and
I say no to drugs. I really do.
I'm just playing. No, they found coding in Fortnite for Power Rangers. So they did find some code. Coding. Not coding like purple drink.
C-O-D-I-N-G.
They found codes. They found codes.
Oh, yeah, okay, coding.
Okay.
I was like, hydrocodone,
I was honestly thinking the same thing, and I was like, what are you talking about? And then it clicked. Okay.
Guys, listen to Patrick Scott. Dare. All right.
Dare, yes.
I dare you.
I still have my Dare shirt from elementary.
I have one too. So I was so mad when I got to 5th grade. I wanted the black and red Dare shirt, and they made it tie-dye when I got to 5th grade. I was just like, this is.
No. But those were cool.
But it wasn't the black and red one. And then I was like, I'm wearing tie-dye. I'm in 5th grade, a 12-year-old or a 10-year-old boy wearing tie-dye. I remember just sitting there yeah.
I got the red and the black one.
Yeah. Well, your school liked you, so.
It'd be cool just to get high in that shirt, though. Side eye. I mean, come on.
Oh my god. You're looking down like, whoa, man.
Whoa. What is
Um,
this spell? Dare.
so back to the topic. So the interesting thing with the Fortnite thing was one like apparently one Walmart in the Midwest put out a shirt that they weren't supposed to, and it was a Fortnite Power Rangers shirt. So we don't know when we're getting it. There's teases that we're getting it. We don't have it. So I think that's what people really want right now is the Power Rangers Fortnite mashup or crossover. There is a game coming out called Rita's Rewind. It's kind of like Shredder's Revenge, like an 8-bit, like the old like Nintendo style games, like arcade style, like Sideways games. There's one of those coming out. A lot of people are excited about that. People still want like something more like Arc kind of graphics, but like an open world game for Power Rangers, kind of like Batman Arkham style. That's the one.
Yeah.
The reality is, I don't think there's enough people in there that want it as far as like wide market appeal to it. We kind of, the brand's got to go a little bit further before we get that for sure.
Yeah.
Let me see. I lost the button. Here we go. All right. So Superman. So something that we can all kind of talk about. So we got leaks this week or last week. See, I don't even know because I'm behind on streaming, guys. So I apologize. So we got leaks of the full suit finally from David Corn Sweat is the new Superman. We got the super suit, and people they don't like it. People are not digging it. They're saying it's too baggy. A lot of people don't understand why he has the red trunks in 2024.
Because it's classic.
That's the thing. So the funny thing is,
Look.
I don't know if you guys remember when Man of Steel came out and Henry Cavill's suit came out, and the two things people complained about were the shield. It didn't look like the classic shield, and that he wasn't wearing red trunks. And that one, they weren't using there. I remember people complaining about that specifically, just like they complained about Heath Ledger being the Joker. Like these little things before the movie comes out, they see something and they're like, they just hate it, right? And even Ben Affleck Batman. I know there's different opinions on it now, but like it ends up being a pretty good Batman. So I don't know if the hate is justified on the suit. I actually kind of dig the S, the Superman shield. It reminds me of Kingdom Come. If you guys are familiar with like Alex Ross and stuff like that.
Yes.
It's very it's that Superman is like a Superman that's had like horrible things happen to him. He's a very older Superman, like Joker killed Lois while Lois was pregnant with his baby. Like it was like end of the world kind of Superman, and that's where they're going with that. A lot of this suit is really like comic inspired, and it's not like where like the Henry Cavill suit was like, we're making this for this movie. You know what I mean? I'm making these for these movies. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
So, like, a lot of different things come from the comics for this suit. What do you guys think about this suit? What are your initial impressions of it?
I'm loving the fact that it's kind of getting down to the root of Superman. Yeah. So it's really bringing out the classic, a little bit of like the origin of his story. And we need that, honestly. We need that kind of aspect of Superman. Because, like we said, we've had the Henry Cavill. We had, I forgot the Superman before that. But
Brandon Routh.
Yeah, so we've had them, and they did already phenomenal. They did great on their stories on Superman, but we do need that origin of it. And I think what I love about the symbol is that it's really resembling the Superman symbol. Like I'm not saying like people I think are upset that it's not resembling the S very aspect of it, as the Superman, but I mean it's Kryptonite's. Kryptonian symbol, and that's what I'm loving about it. And the colors are honestly phenomenal. They're perfect. I really.
A lot of people don't like the yellow outline. I actually really dig it. I think it's really different.
Yes.
Yeah, it reminds me of the old like
screaming yellow.
Right. It reminds me of like the old 40s cartoons. Like that. I don't know if anybody watched them. Like I forget what they're called, but my parents. When I was little, we had I don't know how old you are. I'm assuming you're in your 20s, but like we had VHSs when I was a kid, and my parents used to buy like they used to come out with all the old cartoons, like, and these were like the ones where like there was just music, there was no talking. A lot of them were black and white that were upgraded to color and stuff like that. And this kind of reminds me of that. As far as the S portion, though, what are you thinking about the Superman suit? Do you like it? You don't like it? What do you think?
I like it. I like how retro it looks. So it looks like it's bringing back like the old school Batman look, put in with a modern twist to it. I really like the design of it. But I don't know, something seems like a little off. I don't know if it's like the undies, the red undies, that he's wearing. I don't know. It just I don't have my glasses on, and when I put my glasses on, it's like a blur. So right now it's like a little blurry for me. But I like it. I liked when I used to watch it when Dean Cain was Superman a long time ago, like on the sitcoms.
Yeah, with his felt super suit. It was all felt on the S. Yeah.
But I love Henry as Superman. I feel like will always be my number one Superman.
Yeah.
But it's just like the Batman suit. I mean, the Batman suit has changed so many times.
Yeah.
You know, it's gonna happen, and regardless of the character, you know, it's just the suits are always gonna be changing. But you never know. I mean, he might be a good Superman. He's gotta watch and see.
Yeah, I mean, what I see a lot of James Gunn here. Like this, I see a lot of Guardians of the Galaxy kind of inspired on the suit. Like it doesn't, you know, he's not wearing a jacket, but it almost seems like a jacket kind of, you know, where it overlays on the chest a little bit. I can kind of see that. The trunks they're
a little oversized.
Yeah, they're kind of big.
I think that's what it is. I think they're a little bit oversized. There's something kind of different. I don't know.
It might be something that they fix in post-production, right? So like for me it's baggy. Like I'm seeing it and like it looks baggy, right? And it doesn't fit him, but like obviously he can move in it. And that's a lot of the Superman's complaints is when they get in the suit, they're just like this. You know what I mean? Like they really can't move in it. So maybe this one's more designed for him to move around, and then in edit they're going to like take the crinkles out and stuff like that. The trunks are the issue. So the funny thing is, when we learned from the Brandon Routh Superman is that WB, or I guess they're not WB, they're called Discovery now, or something, whatever they're called. But they have like probably like 2 or 3 weeks worth of meetings to discuss how big their bulge will be on the Supermans. So that no joke, that is a real like thing they go through.
I need my glasses now.
And I think on this one, like they couldn't decide what to do, so they're like, we're just gonna make the trunks a lot bigger, so they can't tell. So, yep. One thing a guy never wants to see is this.
I do that sometimes. Like I'm like on my phone, I go like that, like in the air. I'm like, what am I doing?
Sweet says Dare stands for drinks are really expensive. So you can't say that here.
They really are.
Yeah, I can't like say that out loud. Roz Bakersfield said hi. I'm a Superman fan. Ooh, boo Batfleck. You got some hot takes here.
I'm just gonna say it. Boo Robert Pattinson Batman. I'm sorry, I don't like it.
Ooh. You don't like sparkly Batman? No.
Nope. All I see is Twilight, and I can't get it out of there.
See, the thing is, I've seen him in other movies, so like
he's a good actor.
He's a good actor, and that's
he is, but not Batman. Not my Batman.
Yeah. He's really good in that movie. If y'all ever seen it?
Which one?
It's on Netflix. Good Times.
Is that the one who's a drug dealer?
Yeah, he's it's him and his brother. His brother is special needs.
Yeah,
yeah.
I can't wait for season 2 of Peacemaker.
Don't get me wrong. The Batman is a great movie. I just wish it was a different actor. That's the only thing that ruins it for me.
It's funny because they're going to cast a new Batman in this Superman universe, right? So they're going to have a Pattinson Batman over there. Was that?
So doesn't Batman die in Superman's arms or something like that? And Superman dies in Batman's arms. It's in the comics. Like
there's certain comics that have that version of it, but
I know what you're thinking
they're all
about.
like all different.
You're thinking of Blackest Night. Yeah, so that was
this was back like 2004, 2003.
Yeah, that's Blackest Night. So that was a zombie. That was DC's zombie event, sort of. But that what ended up happening was that was a clone that was left to deceive him, and Batman was like shot through time. It was a
Yeah.
really weird story.
Wow.
But yeah, Batman died for a while. He was gone. But they've all been dead
Yeah.
and all gone.
I didn't really read the comics. The only reason why I know because I'm a huge Batman fan. But I never read the comics. I was just like, into like the movies.
Yeah.
And someone in high school knew how much I like Batman. He's like, "Well, Batman dies. Did you know that? Did you know that he dies in the comics?" I'm like, "What?
Yeah.
What's happening?" That's all I know. That's my spiel on it.
Did y'all watch Peacemaker?
I watched it. I will say I'm not a fan of it.
Really? I thought it was really good.
It's good. It's the actor.
You don't like John Cena?
I don't like.
I feel like that was like his like coming out party. I don't know.
Like I know that he's honestly perfect for the role. Like it's great and all that. Like funny aspect of it. He's great for it. He's perfect, honestly, for it. But I'm just not a fan of John Cena, and I'm not a fan of it.
That's funny.
It's a good show. Yeah.
Controversial take, but I hate a Superman suit. It just looks childish to me personally. My favorite Superman is Smallville because he had the powers but didn't wear the suit. He did wear a suit though. He wore a black suit. He wore the trench coat, and the black suit underneath it, and then he wore the red jacket. So he did have a suit.
Yeah, he did have the red jacket too. I think I do see the childish in the suit for sure, but that thing. I don't know. I'm a classic person. I love the classics. So for me, I like it because it's bringing that classicness, and it's giving me like honestly like the people that grew up with classic Superman, classic Batman. Do you remember like seeing those kids that would dress up like in their tidy whities and had the little cape behind them? Like
it was me.
It's giving me that. So it's giving me nostalgic retro aspect, and that's why I think I like it so much.
So I think what I like about it is the colors. The colors look good. Like they're perfect. The colors are perfect. Yes, we'll go back to Hot Girl and Green Lantern because people hated this. Like,
what is that?
It's Green Lantern and Hot Girl.
I can't see my glass.
But my husband did tell me I when I first saw it, I didn't like it. I didn't like it at first. I was just like, oh my god, what the heck is this? But now that my husband like told me, he was like, well, they're probably part of an organization and that's kind of their uniform. So I'm like, okay, now I understand what it is. I'm sure from here we might get a development, a upgrade later on when, kind of Superman kind of makes them join, to be individual, their own hero aspect of it. So I'm sure they will eventually get a justice of awesome costumes.
Yeah. I mean, they did announce the week that these leaks came out, they did announce that a Green Lantern show would be coming out on, I think they said Max, but it would focus on Hal Jordan and Jon Stewart. So Guy Gardner is an interesting choice for Nathan Fillion because Nathan is kind of older, right? And Guy Gardner was kind of younger than Hal. So everyone kind of thinks they're going to cast a younger Hal, someone that can grow with the role. So it's kind of an interesting take. But then again, like, it's James Gunn. He brings in his people. And Nathan is one of his people, so we'll just have to see. I don't know. I mean, I think it's almost meant to look bad on purpose. So we'll
again,
see how
this is part of it's a Superman show, so it's not going to be.
He's not the focus.
Yeah, he's
exactly.
not. They're not the focus. Although we need the Green Lantern, we need it so bad.
I see a theme on this show brewing, although we can't talk about it. No, we can't talk about it. They're talking about Patrick getting some in and out after he's at the gym. Josh is laughing. Agree, Allie Pattinson was the worst. Ooh. Wanda, thank you for the super chat, Wanda. I appreciate it. We got Nerdflame saying, what's up, everyone? We got Hollywood in the house. I hated the Riddler and new Batman just was terrible. It was kind of a mix.
I like the Riddler. I liked him.
I mean, it wasn't Jim Carrey for sure. That was very good.
It's Jim Carrey.
But I really like the new one with Robert Pattinson. I like the Batman movie because Batman's a detective, and he kind of showed like the detective work in the movie, and it's so
the most comic book accurate Batman movie.
Yeah, that's what I do love about that movie. It's very comic book related to it. It was good.
I know you haven't read the books, Porcelain, but there's some really good storylines with Batman. Like they're dark and really detective. Like that really people that have to write Batman have to be smart because like it's just these are complicated stories. Yeah. I watched the Batman movie at the cinemas when I was a youth. Scared for me for life. The one where Joker cut his mouth. I don't cringe at much, but when I was like 7 or 8, that hurt me mentally. So, dude, Heath Ledger. Heath Ledger was one. Yeah.
Yes, one of a kind, and that's it.
But and
So
remember, people
dropped.
hated him as
Oh,
the
I know.
Joker when he first came out. They were like, "Why?" Yes, it was
there was
so
people.
bad. It was like a knight's. There were, why is a Knight's Tale on there? You know, like they're like, he's just a joke. Why is he? Why is 10 Things I Hate About You Joker on there? They were making
Well, it's
so
kind of
many
like
jokes.
me with Robert Pattinson. You know, all I see is him as Edward, and that's all I see. And so
No.
people were seeing him, and all they see is Knight's Tale, and that's it. So
I wonder if it's better for like, male audiences, because I know the Twilight was a lot of female audiences, right? But like when I went to go see those movies with like old girlfriends and stuff, I wasn't paying attention. Like, you know what I mean? Like I was just not into those movies. So when he came around as Batman, I'm actually watching. I'm like, oh, okay, he's a good Batman, but I don't have that connection with him as Twilight. You know what I mean? So like I'm aware that he was in Twilight. I've seen the movies, but I'm not. I guess I was never emotionally invested to those movies like a lot of people are.
yeah.
The swords. Oh, I haven't checked. I don't check my messages when I'm on stream. I'm sorry, man. Hey guys, I gotta go. Oh, have a good night, man. Any of you like shows Teen Wolf, VP Diaries? I don't watch any of those shows.
Vampire Diaries for sure. The originals for sure. Shadowhunters. I'm a big fan of like the vampires, werewolves, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I would definitely watch all those.
Yeah, I mean, I like those types of movies. I just don't. I don't watch those for sure. I don't want to watch a lot of CW stuff. Other than I was watching the Arrowverse, but I kind of gave up on that at one point. So about the Acolyte, I know you girls haven't watched it. Have you guys been seeing at least the hate about the Acolyte? Like people complaining about it? Not really.
I've never even heard about it.
Dang. It's crazy because it's like one of the most like it was like the #1 show on Disney Plus with like the most engagement ever.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah, it's like it's the only show that is doing better is Obi-Wan Kenobi, as far as Star Wars go.
I need to really get back into watching more Star Wars stuff. So it's just I feel like I've gotten to a burnout section of Star Wars because there's just so much of it, and I'm burnt out. I'm honestly burned out of Star Wars. So Mandalorian was the last thing I watched, and I absolutely loved it, and it was great. But after that, I just can't. I haven't been able to get back into it. I'm not.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And Porcelain, you don't watch Star Wars, right?
It's a lot of storyline. It's a long storyline.
There is, yeah.
I love Harry Potter. Harry Potter.
We have a new Harry Potter. We have a new Harry Potter show coming out, so we should be talking about that fairly soon.
Don't put me on that show.
We'll bring Porcelain for it.
I unfortunately I'm not a Harry Potter fan.
I mean, I've seen the movies. That's where I'm at. I don't read the books or anything like that.
Oh, I read all the books.
I honestly think a lot of it. I would like it more if it was more adultish. Because for me it was just too kiddish. It was just way too childish for me. So.
I can see that for sure.
Yeah,
now,
that's like how whenever they started from the first movie, it was more like happy and kiddie, and then as it started getting darker and darker and more adult towards like the last two films, three films.
Because I do remember like seeing the last ones, and those were like, oh, okay, those aren't too bad, but yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I love Harry Potter. I went to Harry Potter World Universal. I have a Hedwig. It's actually over there. It's a little, and it moves. You put it on your shoulder, and it like flaps its wings.
Now, Allie, I know you want to talk about this. So, House of the Dragon. How are you enjoying season 2 so far?
I'm loving it. Everything. I've already watched it twice. Even like today, I watched it again just because there's so much. This is a show like I enjoy it so much that it's a show you have to really watch a couple of times over and over to get the full story, honestly, because there's so much little things that are hidden. I think Game of Thrones, I watched it 3 times to finally understand every aspect of it. I'm like, oh my god, I missed this part, or there's a connection to this part and to another person, and so I just love it. I also love dragons. That's my biggest thing. And I love dragons.
Yeah. There's a lot more dragons in this show than
and the artwork, the blood, and I just love it. I love it so much.
So I think season 1 was very much like a setup story, but it was done really well, and it kept me engaged the entire time. So like we meet Rhaenyra, and I have to admit, like, you know, last season I enjoyed, you know, Millie Alcock's Rhaenyra more than I enjoyed Emma Darcy's Rhaenyra. But you know, we see, like, you know, them coming up. This is the Age of Dragons, right? So this is like almost like, I don't want to say Targaryen at their peak, because I feel like Targaryen at their peak was like, you know, Aegon the Conqueror stuff. But like, you know, this is like when, like, they're just running this like clockwork now. Like they are in full control of Westeros, right? So, you know, the last season was very much getting, you know, this is the world we're in now, because Game of Thrones was like chaos. Like episode 1 was just chaos, right?
Oh yeah.
And you're trying to catch up. There's like 10 houses. You're trying to learn everybody. There's like 10 storylines going on each season. Like it was just a lot of story, right? But House of the Dragon kind of like simplifies that when you come in. As far as the characters, like Daemon, man, he's just like the asshole that you love to watch, right? Like he's not quite all bad, but he's definitely not good. You know what I mean?
Yep.
He's
a
just
toxic relationship.
he's probably the most toxic person on the show has ever had. Like, just really listen, because you don't know like what he's gonna do. You know, like he's you know, at least in Game of Thrones, Cersei, Tyrion, Jon Snow, like Sansa, like they all had their characters were one specific thing, right? And they went in one direction. Daemon has on this show gone like 7 directions just in the first season, and now in this season, like he killed a 4-year-old little boy, like dude, like, you know what I mean, like, you know, like,
and
I know
he was just so just
it's smiling about it, right?
Just like I did that.
Oh my god! So, you know, Porcelain though. So the first episode of the season, they told us it was going to be insane, right? And it was going to basically, like, you know, equate to this episode where they did in Game of Thrones, where they killed half the cast. Like literally one episode, they killed half of the entire cast, and the cast is like easily at one point like 100 people, and they killed 50 people like in one episode. So in this episode, you know, it's kind of starting slow. We kind of thought like the war was going to start in this episode, and it's not really starting. And then we get to the end of the episode, and Daemon basically wants them to kill a prince. That was their thing. He wants them to kill a prince because a prince had died in the first season, and he wanted a specific prince. And they said, like, what happens if we can't find him? He's like, bring me a prince. Well, they find a 4-year-old prince, and they kill him. But not only do they kill him, like they said, bring me his head. So they actually, like, you hear the sound of them carving the head of a 4-year-old little boy. And it's funny because, you know, it's not funny, but like, it's funny because like that was shocking, but more people were pissed off about them kicking the dog in the episode than they were killing the little boy. Do you remember that?
Yeah. I know.
They're like, what about the dog? Like, what did the dog do? Like, this dude just came and like kicks the crap out of the dog, like kicks him and he, like, goes flying. But we had and people were like too concerned with those 2 characters in the show. But like that was like episode 1, season 2. I remember sitting there and I was like, you know, like it's okay, it's an okay episode. And then we get to that, I'm like, oh, like that's bad. Like that's really bad. I know it's way more graphic in the book, but you can be more way graphic in the book. Like you can't show this on TV, but like the fact that they had the sound was like, oh. And then we get to the second episode, and they're all accusing like the queen of like ordering the murder. The entire time, Damon's just sitting there, and he's just smiling, like
filing his nails, like I didn't.
And that's a reminder, like this dude is not a good dude. Like he's done some cool, good stuff, but like. He's in for it. I think this season we're finding out more and more that like he does not respect Rhaenyra, and he fully believes, especially he believes he should be king. Like he fully believes that.
He was just waiting for her to say something to be able to do his, you know, his vicious thing. Like so he was just waiting for like a one word to come out of her to say like, oh, that I'm taking that. So the moment that she said, you know, like I want Aegon's. You know, he took that as like, oh, okay, this is my time. This is my time to shine. This is my time to get away with murder, pretty much.
Do you think he did it so like people would like not want Rhaenyra as their queen?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Oh yeah, 100%. He
super calculated.
Knew his intentions. Yeah, he knew his intentions on it.
What do you think about him going insane in Harrenhal right now? Like,
Oh, I'm actually like having a blast on that. I'm like, yes, things are coming to haunt you now, huh? I
but
feel
not only
like you
that, it's
should.
like he's losing time too. So it's like
Yes,
that's
yeah,
because that's messing you up as a watcher too. Like watching as an audience, like what is real? Like what is going on that's real here? Because even like these simple conversations that we think he's having that are real,
yeah,
we don't know if they're real, and they're just like, "Will you fight with me?" sort of thing, and we don't know if he's actually having them.
yeah, yeah. I feel like it's good payback. It's good payback right now
Yeah.
from what he did. So it's like he deserves it.
Well, I thought it was interesting when they brought back the Millie Alcock Rhaenyra and they show her shit like, "I'm always cleaning up after you," and she's like sewing the head back on the little boy for the body. Like, I don't know if you saw that scene, like where they were like sewing the head back on. I was like,
Oh yeah,
God,
yeah. Did
I
you
don't
see
even
the
think he
meme?
feels bad. No
Yeah.
good.
Did you see the meme of the what they said that the what was the little boy's name? Jaharis, right? I think Jaharis.
I think he was Jaharis. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so it was the meme of Jaharis on the carriage, and he's like, "Oh, he finally got his pony ride."
Oh.
I was like, "Oh my god!" I died on that. I was like, "Oh, that's."
You know, one thing I
hilarious."
didn't really expect was to see Aegon care about his kids. Like, I didn't like
Oh
I don't
no.
think I don't because I thought maybe like we saw the previews, like maybe he sees them as property. You know what I mean? Like they were mine and you took them away from me, right?
Yeah.
But like he was like he's messed up. Like that really, really messed him up. Like, and even though like he is who he is, like even with that little like the pony ride comment, right? Like, do you
Yeah.
want him to like ride? You want to ride him like a pony or something like that? He was playing with his kid, in his
Oh yeah.
weird like that was him, like that was his like I love you to my kid, like let's be bad together sort of thing, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah. Yeah.
and it was weird to it was kind of weird because we've seen him as a brat the entire series so far, and now to kind of see him a little bit more as like a father, even though he's like really young, like. But I mean, the whole thing's like obviously he's married his sister. Those are both his nephew and his son. Like, like there's some weird
Yeah.
aspect.
Ew.
And it's funny because I
Yeah, this
didn't
is Game of Thrones. There's
Yeah.
incest in Game of Thrones.
Yeah. Porcelain, you haven't seen Game of Thrones?
No,
Oh
never
my god.
seen it. And it was funny because I went to Vegas with my mom a couple years ago, and she was like, "Oh my god, there's a Game of Thrones slot machine." And I was like, "Why you watch Game of Thrones?" She goes, "Yes, I watch it." She's like running to the slot machine to go play the game.
Oh my god.
But no,
It's funny because
I've
I
never
see your
seen it.
creativity on your page, and I think you would really love Game of Thrones. But it's an
Yeah, I
undertaking.
get that.
Yeah,
Yeah, a lot of
Yeah.
people have said that it's a really good show, and
it's really
I
detailed.
Yeah.
That's
definitely need to
that's
put
the
it in
thing
my
about it.
watch list.
There's
And
a
like I
lot of
said, it's
detail.
definitely a show you do have to rewatch a couple times just to really get the full aspect of it because there's so much into it. Especially
So the
Game of
second time
Thrones.
I watched it was when my baby was born, and the baby, when you have a newborn, a lot. I know astronaut Ranger Sand knows you have to feed them every 3 hours. So like you sleep every 6 hours because you're taking shifts with mom or dad, right? So me and the baby saw the entire series of Game of Thrones together. She doesn't know she's seen the entire series, but she's seen it all. So I would stay up with her. Yeah, because like there's a process. You have to feed them, and then you let them play for like 45 minutes. Like play as much as like they just move around, and then you have to put them to sleep. And then putting them to sleep is like you're holding them. So I would hold her right here, and I'd be just watching Game of Thrones at 2 o'clock in the morning, just watching. So it's funny because you talk about the
Starting
details.
them at a young age.
It's funny because you talk about the details of Game of Thrones, like having to watching again, and even though like the last season is like really bad, it makes sense of where they got to where they were going. Watching the entire series again, knowing what's going to happen, it makes sense like how they got there, and I can see that, it was the only logical ending for the show. There was no other way. There was maybe ways they could done it differently, but the way that the resolution that happened, there was no other way that was going to happen. Like, and it's been being set up since season 1. So yeah, even with we talk about what's written by Martin, what's not written by Martin. This is clear the road that he was taking. And I bet you the reason he's not coming out with those additional books is because that was his plan. And now people didn't like the end of his plan. And now he's like, I don't know what to do. And I feel like that's probably part of the issue as well. The only last thing I want to talk about with Game of Thrones is what do you guys think about, or what do you think, Ali, about Rhaenyra being the good mother and Queen Alicent basically being like the most horrible mother we've ever seen in Game of Thrones? Even Cersei was a beautiful, loving mother to her kids, but like
Yeah.
Alicent,
Allison just, I don't like her. I don't think anybody likes her. I mean, if anybody does like her, I don't want to be
well, she's
associated with her.
really, really hot. I'm gonna say Olivia Cook is like gorgeous.
True.
So that's why
yes.
that's why
Yeah,
you could
I can
like
see
her.
why.
But other than
Yeah, that's
that,
what I could like her. But
like in
as a
this,
mother figure, it's just horrible at it. And she's just so selfish.
I don't think she sees them as anything more as like she was their vessel to get out of her. Like,
yeah,
you
exactly.
needed my body to get
Now,
out.
I will say I kind of get maybe why she's like that, because I don't think, because technically she was technically kind of forced into this, marriage with the dad, because her dad kind of, persuaded her to do that. And it broke off also a beautiful friendship that she had with her pretty much
Yeah.
best friend at that time. And I mean, I think she knows what she did. And, so I see why she's so nasty like this, as
Yeah.
not a great mother aspect. I don't think I feel like also I don't think she ever wanted to be a mother. I just feel
I
like
think
she
I can
was,
see that. I do think
yeah,
she loved Viserys. I just don't
yeah,
think she loved Viserys like that. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like I think she clearly like that. He's a really good friend, and I
yeah.
love him as a friend.
She had her
And that was it.
moment. I think she saw probably when Aegon was sitting by the fire and like crying, and like when she was
Yes,
storming in there and like she was about to like blow up on him, and then she was like, "Oh, never mind, like he's hurting." Like,
but
so
she
I think
doesn't
she
try
like,
to make him feel better either. She just
no, of
walks
course she didn't
off,
do anything
and
about
then she
it. She
goes and
just walked
has
up.
sex with her Kingsguard.
Yeah,
This-
exactly. Yeah,
I don't know. Like
yeah.
I
I
can
have
the blacks and the greens are so weird because I don't think Rhaenyra is in the right, obviously in her stance either. But like it's hard because like the greens are just so like entitled and pompous. You know what I mean? So
that, and I think also I'm seeing a lot of like religion into like aspect of it, with the greens especially. And
yeah,
I'm like, you're not innocent, ma'am. Like, you're stop.
yeah.
You're over here trying to be Miss Ave Maria, but you're not.
Now
Sorry.
let's talk about last night's episode. What do you think about last night's episode?
Oh my god.
Right?
I'm that person that I'm always like, this could have been prevented a long time ago, but I'm like, I know, like, unfortunately, it's gonna have to happen this way. I mean, we all know the outcome of this. Unfortunately,
Yeah.
as much as we're Team Red, we just already know, the outcome of it. So it is what it is. But we knew something like this was gonna happen.
Yeah.
Sadly, it had to happen now so
See,
early.
for me,
But
like I know the basic story and I know the beginning and the end, but I don't know anything in the in between. So like
yeah,
I'm really being surprised by a lot of things. I was really surprised. I wasn't surprised to see Rhaenys die and Melays. Like I
really,
feel like I feel like that was they were gonna be the first ones to die. Just because there was needs to be a dragon that died, and no one's killing Vhagar right now. The only one
yeah,
that has a chance against Vhagar is Daemon and Caraxes, and they're not around. So, and I feel
yeah,
like that would be like an end game. Like that'd be like the end of the story, right? Or the end of
yeah.
the war, or so to speak. I felt bad for Aegon a lot in this episode because Aegon, especially when his mother came and told him, like, he's like, I don't know what to do. And she's like, do what you're supposed to do. Nothing.
Mm,
And
no,
he's just like, I'm king and like I'm supposed to be doing stuff. And she's like,
exactly.
and she basically telling him, like, you're good for nothing but to be king and be a face of king.
I do feel bad for him because I feel like you could tell he's wanting to be king. He's wanting to do stuff.
Yeah.
But every time his mother, and then of course, and the old hand of the king, I forget his name, was holding him back. They were
Hightower.
both holding them back. Yeah, Haytower. So he was just like, they were just kept holding him back. And then the moment that he actually goes and does something, there goes,
Yeah.
with the dragon and all that. So it's just like,
I felt bad for his dragon. His dragon was so cool,
I
and then
know, and like
just got
she
ripped to
was so
shreds
loving
and
and like
everything.
wanting cuddles, and I was like,
Right? We've never seen a dragon really like kind of like I want to cuddle with you.
be affectionate. It's like, hey, pet me. Yeah, and then
Like,
just
I'm gonna
that's
say
the
like
first dragon
Drogon
that's
was a little bit like that, but Drogon was always an asshole too. So like he would like look like he was about to like hug on you, and then he'd be
Oh,
like,
yeah.
"Nah, I could eat you. Remember, I could just eat you."
Yeah,
And
exactly. But this
yeah,
was
but
the one that I first saw like actually like being like a puppy.
right,
Yeah.
I feel
Yeah.
bad. It was a pretty dragon too. And I think that's
It was.
I think that's part of the story. Like
Well,
Sunfire is supposed to be the pretty dragon.
Rhaenyra, right? That's her name. The grandma. I forget. I
Cyrax.
always call her
That's
right.
Cyrax.
Varys. Oh my god, I love her dragon. That was one of my
Yeah.
favorites. And
Vhagar's
um,
ugly though. Like I know Vhagar's big and supposed to be like the biggest and
oh
baddest,
yeah,
but
I think that he's supposed to be like that. He's supposed
he
to
has
be
my
ugly
old chin.
and
He has like my
yeah,
chin when I was like 50 pounds heavier. This one, but like
yeah.
yeah,
He's supposed to be scary, so that makes sense. But I will say, what I loved about this last episode, though, the graphics were amazing. Everything well done with the dragons. It was very beautiful, very cinematic, great showmanship on the on this last episode. It was great.
Yeah. Well, they said the guy that directed this episode did Winds of Winter, I think.
Yeah.
So that's the big fight with
Yep.
Jon Snow and Ramsay. Ramses?
Yeah.
Ramses or Ramsay? Ramses, I think it's Ramses.
Yeah.
So Millennium Workshop. Oh, we talked Acolyte yet? Sorry. No worries. The girls really haven't seen Acolyte, so maybe I'll bring on Kenobi next week and we'll talk on Acolyte. Or maybe I'll bring in somebody that's watched it. So we'll talk about it more next week, especially because an episode is coming out tomorrow. And it's already, I think it's been talked about a lot already. But all right, guys. So we're wrapping up here. I want to talk about More Phenomenal Expo. So as long as you guys know, I am a sponsor for More Phenomenal Expo this year. And I gave them a check and I said, bring me someone cool. And I didn't think it would be this cool. So they're bringing Charlie Kirsch, the newest Yellow Ranger, to San Antonio here. A lot of you guys know her as Min Kwan, the daughter of Trini, the original Yellow Ranger. She's coming to San Antonio. She'll be here August 10th through 11th, Saturday and Sunday. I know you guys will be at Etchy Fiesta, but she will be here, her first Texas appearance, and she really doesn't do a lot of appearances, guys. So she does one Ranger stop and Power Morphicon. This will be her first Power Morphicon, and so this is really like her third appearance. And I don't think, from what I understand, is that she's not going to be doing many appearances. So if you guys are anyone interested in meeting her, this is going to probably be your best opportunity unless you're willing to go to California. So I would come out, meet her. She will be having my logo on her banner. So maybe I'll go give her some stuff to give away also. You never know. I just bought a Yellow Ranger thing today. So maybe she'll have some things that she'll be giving away as well. Also going to be there that they announced is Brandon J. McLaren. You guys know him as SPD Red. But a lot of people know him from The Rookie, Firefly Lane. Like he's in a bunch of TV shows right now. So I don't know if people are just going to come to meet him because he's a Ranger, because he's like actively working in a lot of shows. So he will be there. He's been here before, but he hasn't been here in a long time. I mean, there's been a lot of new stuff for him to sign since then. So he will be here. That was the announcement they did Friday night. They also announced that Andrew Gray will be here. Mega Force Red. I hear he's really cool to fans. He's really nice to them. So come check it out. And then today they announced Michael Gatto. A lot of you guys know him as the young version of Tommy, as young Tommy. He will be here on August 10th only. He'll be here Saturday only. Somebody said he's a doctor now, and like he just does this like to meet fans every now and then. He's here fans that wanted to meet him, and like he doesn't need to do this at all. He just he heard that.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so I heard he's really, really cool. But that makes sense that he's going to be there because the first ever appearance in the United States of Dragon Ranger Shiro Uzumi, who will be there. He is the original Japanese Green Ranger, the one that they based Tommy, the Green Ranger, on. He will be here in San Antonio. I know a lot of people are coming from around the country to San Antonio to be here at his first appearance.
Awesome.
That is awesome. It was one of those things that
I'm still mind blown that they got him.
It shouldn't be happening in San Antonio.
Yeah.
Like there's no reason he should be in San Antonio. But yet he said that he wanted to come here specifically, and to More Phenomenal Expo. So he was coming. So we have a lot of there'll be so many people around the country here in San Antonio that weekend just to meet Dragon Ranger, which is insane.
Yep.
So, and of course we have a
I
lot
might
of
have to
legendary.
escape for a little bit from Etchy Fiesta to at least
You're
go
gonna-
take a picture.
And here's the cool thing about it. San Antonio More Phenomenal Expo is obviously much smaller than Power Morphicon, right? Power Morphicon is an amazing, incredible event it's going to have 100 Power Rangers this year, right? His line is still going to be like a 4 or 5 hour wait.
Oh, yeah.
Here in San Antonio, you may have a 1 hour wait. Just being realistic, right? Like I know a lot of people are coming in around the country, but like it's going to be a more intimate, and you're going to get more time with these Rangers, and especially him as well. Of course, we're going to have Steve Cardenas, Rocky, the Red and Blue Ranger, the Blue Zeo Ranger. We're going to have Catherine Sutherland, Pink Ranger, and Nakia Baris, Yellow Ranger. And of course, you got to have TJ, man. So Selwyn Ward will be here as well. He hasn't done a San Antonio appearance in like 8 years or 9 years. He'll be here. And then they just announced today on their website, they haven't even put it on their socials yet, that we are having Campbell Cooley come back, and then Lunar Wild Force Ranger will be here as well. So Lunar Wolf Ranger, my bad. And Philip Andrew will be here as well. So honestly, I feel like once Dragon Ranger got announced, like more Rangers wanted to come to San Antonio because they know like a lot of Ranger fans were going to be here. So it's crazy. Like I really think we're going to get a lot of anime fans too, because a lot of the Super Sentai, because like it's Dragon Ranger. It's one of the most popular Japanese Sentai Rangers in all of history. So it's crazy. So and then another big thing that I announced on my socials this last week. So NostalgiaCon called me and they said, hey, we want you to give away VIP tickets. And I was like, all right. So we are having a VIP ticket giveaway for NostalgiaCon Houston. If you win and you can't go, you're getting 2 free autographs from any one of the celebrities that you want. So, and they'll be sent to anywhere around the world. So if you win and you are in Australia, you are in the UK, you are in Africa, you're in the Philippines, you are in South America, and you can't go, we're going to send you 2 free autographs. We have, we're going to have 100 guests at NostalgiaCon Houston, ranging from Kevin Spacey to, sorry, someone just texted me. Kevin Spacey to the Digimon cast again. We're going to have, I don't think we're going to have Pokemon, he said this time, but we're having Gundam. We have Avatar, The Last Airbender. What'd you say? Which one?
Jujutsu Kaisen, the cast of Jujutsu Kaisen.
There'll be a huge Naruto reunion as well.
Yep, Naruto.
I'm doing the Avatar panel. I've watched Avatar: The Last Airbender 3 times. I told him, I was like, I'm doing that panel, and he's like, okay, like, so I was like, so yeah, I'm doing Avatar Last. I'm going to meet Dante Bosco.
They're going crazy for this one. I don't. God, there's so many. There's just so much guests that are going.
Yeah, they're announcing guests every other day. So, and we still got 6 months to go. So at the rate, I mean, they'll probably slow down to once a week, I imagine, at some point. But it's insane. How much is going to happen in Houston is insane. I know a lot of San Antonio people are going to Houston that went to the first one. Like as far as guests, we have a lot of like celebrity guests that wanted to come back to Houston. We have a lot of people that were like, attendees that are wanting to go to Houston. So if you guys want to win, go to my Instagram. It's up there pinned up the top, or you can go to my Facebook. You can't pin on Facebook. I guess I can't pin on Facebook. I'll pin it on Facebook after the stream, and it'll be on top on the featured post. And then you can learn how to enter there. Mostly it's just follow me, follow NostalgiaCon, comment, like, and share. It's pretty simple to enter. You can enter twice also. So you can enter once on Facebook and you can enter once on Instagram. And that's gonna be a pain in the butt, but I'm gonna do it for you guys. So that's what I'm gonna do. So I think we already got like 150 entries so far, and it only launched on Friday. So it's pretty good. And I'll keep on posting about that. I know, Allie, I know you're planning on going to NostalgiaCon Houston. Porson, are you wanting to go too?
I hope to
I'm
have
not sure if I'm going to go or not. We shall see.
We shall see.
We shall see. I'm not too sure yet.
So I did talk to those in the chat that have been following with my lady Cat over here. We did talk to her. She is going to be coming to Houston. So if you guys want to meet Cat, she will be at Houston in December as well. So you know, I don't know if you guys want to meet me, but that's fine. But I know you want to meet Cat, so come meet Cat. But I think that's all I got tonight. I want to remind everyone to go follow Ali B on Instagram and to go follow Porcelain Doll 877 on Instagram as well. I know we've been streaming. I think we're already we're still streaming on Instagram. I think there was a cutoff at some point, but make sure to go. I want to thank you, ladies, for joining us.
Thank you.
Ali, anything you want to say before you go?
No, that's it. I had a great time and get to see you on here, Porcelain.
How do you do that?
Yes,
I don't know.
it was nice. It was nice talking to you. My little heart.
Oh, it works. There you go. Okay, we're gonna talk about this later.
Oh, that's
All
what
right.
I did. That's funny. I thought somebody was like giving us hearts. I was like, oh, that's nice of them.
No, it's the
me.
FaceTime camera. I need to figure out. There's ways to do it.
Oh,
I
that's
don't
on
know.
FaceTime. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I don't have that, so I'm upset.
All right, we're figuring out technology as we're doing it. So, all right, guys, y'all have a good one, and y'all know what time it is. Girl, say it. Come on, it's morphin time. Say it.
What?
Oh,
Oh,
it's
morphin'
morphin' time.
There you go.